where I want to share where I've struggled with this. I mean, my most personal reflection of, I guess, when I first questioned my purpose, I've always questioned mine, like 100% always. I've spent my entire life from childhood on just chasing things that I thought were purposeful. I mean, the things are purposeful, but it wasn't my purpose.
Yeah. Again, that's that like people please.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So for me, I always saw a next step. That didn't mean it was my next step.
Right.
So I was constantly taking this step here, this, do this. Yes, say yes to this. And
like
I'm going to try this.
bow-legged steps.
I know, really, like kind of that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
But for me personally, man, this wasn't supposed to be like.
I told you we're crying today on this episode.
For me personally, I didn't really know how to even find it because none of it felt me until I stopped looking. I stopped trying to define my own purpose. I stopped trying to follow a purpose that looked like what people would want for me or what I thought it looked like. And I started just living and realizing that putting my faith in my Father and really letting go of my own understanding. It wasn't until then that my purpose started
manifesting.
My feet started being visible. My steps started being clear, and the overall plan for me, and that fog actually lifted. And I hope that I'm going to speak on a mom's behalf for right now, but I hope other moms can hear a little bit from my emotion in this statement that being a mom is the biggest purpose that I overlooked for myself. And from as young as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to be the mom that I sometimes didn't have. And that is nothing against my mom. Yeah. But I always needed a strong, supportive, and encouraging mom. And I became that.
Yeah.
And I overlooked that in my purpose on a daily basis. But it wasn't until I really gave it up at the foot of the cross and said, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, what is my purpose? That I started to see motherhood that is my number one focus. And my number two is my marriage. I had never seen a good marriage. And I used to joke that I didn't believe in marriage. And I thought all marriages were a sham and I was never going to get married. And I was okay with it. Like, really, I identified with that. I was going to be fine no matter what in life because I just wasn't going to get married. It wasn't real. And that was my next purpose, is to create and establish and have a marriage that is worth living for. And it's weird because those two things, they don't bring in any money. They're not work.
Right.
They're not work like the society would define work.
Right.
But for me, those are the two things that I put
the hardest work.
The hardest work. And it's crazy to me that, my faith really did lead me to accepting that those two things are my purpose, and leaning into them has brought success in every other area that I was chasing in a sense.